Hello, I'm Cheryl from That's What She Said, and today we are going to talk Cricut Design Space. So whether you're just starting out with Cricut or whether you've been doing it for a while and don't quite know what everything does, we are going to walk through that today. So let's get started. So I have Cricut Design Space open here. It used to be a web-based program, so you'd have to have internet access to be able to really utilize it. And that was kind of hindering, especially for people who wanted to take, their machines to their cabin and, there's no Wi-Fi there, things like that. So now it is an actual program that you can download for free. It's, you can get an ID for free and you download it to your computer. So it's no longer web-based. So here it is. Here's mine. And I'm just going to click the sign in button. And like I said, you can get a Cricut ID for free. And I'll put the link. Oh, maybe I can type. I'll put the link down below to get your free ID if you have not already and where to download it at. So this is the home screen. And basically up top here is just news, current news from Cricut. And then if we move down, here is a My Project section. If you're just starting out, your project section will be blank, but I'm sure it will fill up quickly. And then continuing to move down, this will change. This basically is just giving you the new things that have been added to Cricut Access, which we will speak much more about this in just a minute. Some ready-made projects, we'll talk about those, and just different ideas for you. So that's what this home screen is basically about. And now let's move on to the right, top right, and we're going to click New Project. So this is our Canvas screen. This is where the magic happens. You can get back to that home screen if you ever need to go back, just by clicking that little button up there. Same, hopping right back to the canvas. So, up top here, My Projects is that area that I showed you before. These are all of my projects that I have saved. And then, if you go back to the canvas, next to that is the Save button. So once you create something and you save it, it will go into your My Projects section. And lastly, on the top here, this is probably the most, if you ever encounter a problem, you're like, what is happening? Come to this little section right here. So what it is, little drop down, and what it does for you is that you choose which machine that you're working with. So we all know that the Cricut Joy has that awesome card mat and can cut the cards using the card mat. So when I have this selected, I will have the options for the card mat. I will have the options for smart materials, things that are specific to the Joy only. If I would change it to the Maker, I would then have the projects and the materials and the tools that are only specific to the Maker. So here I would be able to choose engrave or perforate or the double scoring wheel, the knife blade, only if I have it checked. If I have the Explore family checked and I'm actually doing a knife blade project, the knife blade options will not appear for me. So sometimes I'm like, what is going on? And then I remember that I have the wrong machine selected up here. So today we're going to use the Cricut Joy because it's perfect for my coffee mugs. And that's what we're going to make today. So I'll select that up here. So if you're ever running into something where you're like, why can't I switch that? Double check this little area right up here at top. So this panel right here, this is the panel basically where you are going to get content to put on your canvas right here. So the first is templates, and all this does is offer you a little template on your canvas so you can use to size things. I don't use this often, but there are templates there if you're interested. You can see down here it says template now, and if I delete it, it goes back to blank canvas. So I don't really do much with that. Projects. Projects are great. Projects are things that are already created on the canvas for you and they're ready to go. So you normally don't need to resize, you don't normally need to weld or attach or do anything further to these if you don't want to. You can put them on you can select them, and then you can make them. That easy. So see, like I said, I have the Joy selected, so I'm being shown tons of Joy cards. But if I were to click it to the Maker, right, the Joy cards go away, and I have other things. So If I were to click on a project, you can scroll through some pictures for it, and then you can come down here and it gives you a description. It tells you exactly what the finished size would be, the materials, everything else you need, how to prepare it, how to cut it, and how to assemble it. So basically, a complete project ready to go right for you. Pop it on, you know, select it and make it. So when you do click Make It, it actually pops you into the matte screen directly. It totally skips the canvas part. So let's say you wanted to add a name to these projects. If we wanted to add like a name underneath this little rainbow, you'd be able to do that now, because when you click Customize, it pops it onto the canvas for you and lets you do that. So we are not going to do that. That's just showing you. So that's what projects are. And images is basically the pieces of the projects, the pieces of the pie, right? So these are the individual pieces that's already been finished here in the projects. And we can use tons of these, and you can look through them by the categories, or you can even search. So I'm going to do a really cute Rise and Shine coffee mug, and the one that I want is right here. So next thing we're going to talk about is Cricut Access. What is Cricut Access? It is a subscription service that allows you to use any font, pattern, or cut file design that has this little green ribbon with the A. You can pay monthly or you can pay annually. So as long as your subscription is current, you have availability to any and all of these designs that have this little ribbon. And there are many. So there's fonts, there's patterns, there's, you know, obviously designs like this, like we're seeing right now. So that is really, really good. If you are, you know, if you're using your Cricut all the time, it's totally worth it. And I'll put a link down to Cricut Access in the description of this video as well. So once we get into our images, we can, like, there's more filters that you can use over here. You can draw only, 3D, different things like that to help sort through. Because like I said, Access is full of designs. I mean, there are over 100,000 of them in there. So you can spend all day looking through them. So these filters definitely help to narrow some things down. But I do know that I want to use this one. So I'm going to insert the image. So what if you don't have Cricut Access? You don't want to pay the monthly or the annual subscription, but you still want to use this design. So you can insert it just like I did, and you can resize it and do all the things that we're going to do to this moving forward. However, when you click Make It up here in the corner, it is going to ask you to purchase the design. So you're still able to use them. You can just purchase them on a single you know, by need basis, kind of. So now that we have this design on our canvas, you can see that this toolbar up here has become activated. If I click off it, you can see that it's all gray. So once we have an item selected, the toolbars become activated for it, and you can basically, I mean, like here, we can, oh, see, great example. So I have it still set to maker, and look down here. Engrave, deboss, wave, perforation, all of those options are available. But let's get back to the Cricut Joy, and I'll show you. We can just cut and draw. Okay, so that shows you how this selection up here alters the options that you have available moving forward. So, let's see. Edit, you can cut, copy, flip, oops, clicked off that, size. You can size from here, and you can also size using this guy right here. If you want to not constrain the proportions, you can unlock it with that little unlock there, or the little unlock right here, and then you can stretch as much as you want. So I'm going to put it back to normal. I'm just going to move this guy over here for right now, make him a little smaller. Okay, so that's images. Next is text. Text is pretty explanatory. Maybe I can spell my own name. So now you can see that when I have the text selected, I get an extra bar underneath here, a toolbar. And that is the text specific toolbar. So Here we can choose fonts, we can do the letter spacing, the sizing, the alignment, the curve, all sorts of things. So these I feel are pretty self-explanatory. I have an entire video about how to use this curve feature that I will put the link down below. I wanted to talk really quick about the fonts because I did mention that Cricut Access also included fonts, and you can see here all the fonts with the little A are included in Access as well. So let's start here. So this top toolbar, you can, if this Cricut is selected, that will show you only Cricut fonts, ones that are provided by Cricut. If you are not using internet and you need to go to your cabin, you'll want to make sure you download these fonts first. So like you can see here, I've already downloaded this one. You'll want to download those before you go off Wi-Fi. So system fonts are fonts that are on your personal computer, fonts that you have downloaded. And I have a video also about how to download and install fonts on your computer and then how to use them, how to get them here in Cricut Design Space. So I'll link that video too. So that is system fonts are your own, and then all is obviously all. So same thing, you can search fonts by name, and then I find this really helpful, this little filter over here, especially when I'm going to use the writing feature, is if I click writing, it sorts all the fonts to ones that are capable of writing. So that's really helpful for me because, like I said, the same as the images, you can scroll through these fonts all the live long day. So I'm going to clear that for now. But so that's that's text, how we get text on. And then shapes, very self-explanatory. Let's use a little heart. Bam, there's a heart. Same thing. Big, little, move it around, anything you want to do there. Upload. Upload allows you to upload an image, so I provide SVGs on my blog. So if you were to happen to download one of those and wanted to use it to cut on your Cricut, here is how you would get it into Design Space. I actually have a video as well showing you step by step in detail how to upload your image into Design Space, and I'll link that as well. You can see some of the ones that I've already linked. So this panel here is how we get stuff on our canvas. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is this layers panel, and that's how we manipulate the stuff on our canvas to make it how we want. So let's talk through those. Oh, here, I'll show you. I'm going to do one thing. Come down here. I had some earrings. This was a set of earrings that I designed, and I uploaded the SVG, and we're going to cut them. So I'm going to use these for an example. So at the top here, we see group and ungroup. Group is grayed out, so we can't use it because the earrings, they're all one piece here, right? They're already grouped, so it's grayed out. What if I wanted to change the size of these tops? Well, I mean, right now, I don't have the ability, right? It's crazy. So if I wanted to move these around differently, I can ungroup, and now I have two separate layers for these. I can size, I can do whatever I want with these, right? So that is how group and ungroup. Also, you can go back and I could select both of these again and I could regroup them if I wanted to. So that is what the group does. Okay, next is duplicate, and it is pretty self-explanatory, right? So you select an item on your canvas and click it, and you'll get another. So that is how that works out. And then obviously delete. You can also just click delete on your keyboard as well if you have something selected to delete it. So now let's go down to the bottom panel here. Let's see, let's say that I want, let me change these really quick here. Select one, and I'm going to make it a purple, and the other one yellow. It'll make it just easier for me to establish this visual. Let me move these over. So let's say I have these two hearts together and I actually don't want them to cut as separate pieces. I want them to cut as one piece. So with both of my images selected, if you come down here, oh, I skipped slice. We'll come right back to that. We'll come down here and you click weld. You can now see that they're one continuous shape. They're obviously, it's all the same color. I nixed the purple layer, now I'm just the yellow layer, and everything is welded together. So that is what weld does. Let's talk about attach really quick. So what if I wanted to write my name and put it inside of that? I'm going to come to my Cricut fonts and come to my filter and click writing. I'm going to select this writing font to make my name in that writing font. And let's say, oops, that's how I want it. Okay, I want these double hearts with my name in it. Now, if I were to make it, it is, oops, hold on just a second. It has my name on one mat, and it's got all my other stuff on the other, right? Here's my hearts down here. What the heck? That's not what we want, right? We want the name to be written right on these hearts. So what I do there is I'll select both layers, the hearts and my name, and I'll click this attach down here. Attach. And what that does is if I were to go to make it, you can now see, sorry, we'll come back to that. I forgot about that. You can now see that that written layer is gone and my name is correctly inside those hearts like I want it. So that is what the attach does. So you can also then, if they're selected, you can detach, and then I can go back to moving my name around or whatever. Because let's say, okay, I don't want to write it anymore. I want to cut it out. Okay, here's the one I skipped. We're going to do that one. Now you can see too over here, my name is lower than my hearts. So basically it's behind my hearts. There's two ways you can do it. You can manually move this and bring it up. Or if, let's say we're not doing that, oops. You can, with it selected, if you right click, you can send to front. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Send to back. And then it will pop up as well. So let's say this happens. Okay, now I want to cut my name out of these two hearts. So what I'm going to do is with my name above my heart right here, I'm going to select both of these and I'm going to click the slice. And now if you come up to the very top of your layers, you'll see a slice result, slice result, slice result. So this black layer was the original text that I put on there. I'm going to delete that. This yellow layer now is the part of the yellow that that black layer sliced. I'm going to delete that. And then you can see that I've cut my name out of these hearts. So I also have a very, very detailed video going through different ways to do slice and how you would do, how you would utilize it and things like that, especially for using iron-on. So I'll link that video below. But that is what the slice tool does on the bottom. Okay, so we've talked slice, we've talked weld, we've talked attach. Let's do flatten. Okay, so let me insert, I went to images and I'm typing in hearts, and I'm going to click that heart right there. And it's going to insert it for me. Okay, so here you can see I have a draw layer, I have a cut layer, I have several, right? Several draws and several cuts. Let's say I just want to print this. Use the print then cut feature and print it and then cut around it. While I have this selected, I click flatten, and can you see all those layers combined into a cut and print layer? So now this will print, it'll give me the prompt to print, and then it will cut around it. And see, I had to have my maker selected because the Joy does not have the print then cut feature. So I clicked that back to maker so that I could show you the print then cut there. And you can also unflatten it. Once you have flattened it, it turns the flatten into an unflatten button. So there is that. So we've gone through the slice, the weld, the attach, the flatten. Now I'm going to delete these extras and just work with this guy right here. So the last and I think the most underutilized tool on the layers panel is the contour. This is amazing. So let's say I'm cutting this on a mug. So I normally like to, I do about 3 inches wide for my mugs. So those little dots right there, they're going to be really tiny and they're going to be hard to weed. And I think I'm just going to take them off. Now I could cut them and just, you know, weed them out kind of thing. But you know vinyl, right? It gets stuck everywhere. It's kind of a pain. So let me show you what you can do. With your design selected, we're going to click the contour and it's going to open up a new screen. Basically, I'm going to click on all the stuff I don't want. So I can click right in the design here, or I can scroll over here to the bottom, or to the side, sorry, and I can highlight over here. And as you can see, as I'm highlighting over here, they're going away over here. And then the first time that I used this, I was like, where is the save button? There's no save button. I was like freaking out. You actually just click the X and everything stays. So here you can see all of those little dots have gone away. So if I wanted to get rid of these little stars, I could do the same thing, but I don't. This is also really useful if you would wanted to take this design and you wanted to cut it in 3 different colors. You can make triplicate it, right? 3 copies, and then you could just take out the stuff of each color. So I would have just rise only, and then the next one I'd have ands, and the next one I'd have shine, and then I'd be able to cut them in multiple colors. So contour can be used for quite a few different things, and I do have a video going into detail of the contour also. So here I'm just kind of trying to overview it for you. So we've now basically talked about all the tools, getting our items onto our canvas, being able to manipulate them up here, and then being able to actually use designs and weld and attach and things like that over here in this layers panel. So I'm going to switch this back to the Joy, and I'm going to put this to 3. Once I took those little dots out, it made it a little bit smaller, so I can make that bigger again to 3. And now up in the right hand corner, I'm going to click Make It. And with the Joy, Joy only actually, you'll get this little pop-up here. So you saw it earlier when I was messing around with it. It's asking you, are you using Cricut Smart Materials that don't need a mat? Are you using a mat? Are you using the card mat? Or are you doing it multiple ways? So I made another one earlier without the mat. I just plugged it right in. Today I'm actually, for right now, just going to use a mat. I have some scrap vinyl that I put on top of it. So here we go. You can see this is our design. We have it selected on a mat. You can change it if you change your mind right there. This will, if you're using the 12-inch skinny mat, you can change that there. And then you can use the mirror. If you were using iron-on, you would want to mirror it. So real quick, I'm just going to cancel that real quickly, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click my Maker. Maker and the Explorer family are very similar for this next step, but I just want to show you both ways. So this is what it would look like if you were using a Maker or an Explorer. It would show you your large mat. It would give you your material size, which you have much more options for the other machines, obviously, and it will also allow you to mirror as well. So very similar, just a little bit different. So I want to just pop that in there. I'm going to go back to my Joy. And actually, I'll just change this really quick because I'm going to look at a black screen. So Make It, and then I have a pretty pink one up. I am going to select my mat, and right here I'm going to click Continue. And the thing with the Joy is there's no buttons, so everything is done here via Cricut Design Space. For the Explorer, you would use the knob unless you're doing custom materials, which you would turn the knob to custom and then select your materials on Cricut Design Space. And for the maker, you do everything with here on Design Space as well. There's no knobs for that. So now you got my joy selected. I'm using premium vinyl. If I were using the no mat method, I would need to make sure that I chose the smart vinyl coming out of there. So now it's telling me to go ahead and load my material. And for the video, I am definitely using the no mat method. We need a Cricut Joy, a blank mug, a weeding tool, a scraper, smart vinyl, and transfer tape. Okay, so it's checking that I have everything aligned correctly. And now it's telling me that I can go. So I click this go. Okay, so it's complete. And again, since there's no buttons on the Cricut Joy, you basically just click this button and then it will unload your mat for you. If I was using my Maker or my Explorer, I would use the flashing arrow button to load and unload and the flashing Cricut C button to begin cutting. So now we have our cut vinyl design, and I can click finish here and it takes me right back. If I want to save this design because I want to do it again, I come to the right, click save here. If you want to be able to share it, like let's say you do the work and your sister wants to make one, you can check this public and that will allow you to share a link with someone else to be able to make your project. So today I'm just going to undo that. This project's just for me. Click save. It tells me that it's saved successfully, and now if I were to go to my projects, there it is right here. So now let's apply this. We're going to weed the vinyl and we're going to apply it to our coffee mug. So let's get finished.